Okay, so good morning everyone. I wanted to show you what we have going on in here. So I haven't really told anyone about this chassis. This is a brand new chassis for us. We are building a E46 for Pro2. The build's actually for Tony Cisneros, who is a phenomenal driver. He was driving an S chassis with us in Pro-Am, so we battled out many times. He was another Achilles driver. Like, the guy is phenomenal. So he asked us over here at Imagine Garage if we would build him a E46 similar to our E36 Pro car. We said, okay, let's do it. So I wanted to kind of show you guys before we got going too far. This would just be like a simple blog and like vehicle build. So we'll do a build along like the whole way. So when we got this was a normal M3 actually. So if you look, it is actually a M3. There we go, M3-2, so two-door M3. It has all the body panels and everything, all the metal on it. What we've done so far is we have cut the roof off. So roof is cut out, and we have basically just kind of stripped it all out. We took all of the unnecessary bolts, hardware, everything. This was an SMG car, so we had to cut this all out and drill it out from the bottom to have access for here. But all the stubs, all the unnecessary bolts and things that can stick you and can, basically can go through shoes and all that stuff is all gone. Everything's deleted, fuel tanks pulled out of it, everything's pulled out of this, whole rear end's pulled out of it. We've started to do the column. So this is actually a stock OEM column. We shaved all of the aluminum stuff off of it so that it doesn't look like a little transformer up here. And we're gonna stick with a stock column just because it's collapsible, it's adjustable, it's telescoping and goes up and down. So this is a really nice feature. We've also built some block off plates. So there's a block off plate for the AC delete there, and then these block off plates right here as well, just to kind of keep all the smoke out of the car as much as possible. When we come up here, we've cut the top hats for the WiseFab. Obviously we were running WiseFab and fuel suspension, only the best on this thing. So cut this all out, got that ready. We've done a lot of trimming up here too. So as a chassis prep, we try and prep it the best that we possibly can. So this is all cut. This normally has like a big shroud looking thing on here. We cut all the extra out over here that's not necessary. Everything's been deleted out of all this. Shaved everything except for the wipers. You got to keep the wiper blades. This will be an FD car for sure. This is all cut off here and cleaned up, so there's not this like weird baffling plate here or over here. So try to clean it up as much as possible. This was also cut. The tubes are all cut out of this so that we have enough clearance for the wheel wells. And like on our car, we built it piece by piece. So we needed something else, we did it. We needed something else, we cut it. Like I didn't cut these till this year when I was trying to tuck 18s. But this car, we're gonna build it right from the beginning to make it really easy. This is just temporary. We are gonna do something else with this. Garagistic makes a really cool, like adaptive Guibo that deletes this scary kind of rubber soft one. And then we are running a stock rack. E46 racks seem to be amazing. So we're gonna run that. This one, just a little dusty, but this is all fresh front subframe. We are originally going to mock up the motor and everything on these motor mounts, get it all set up, centered and aligned and perfect. Then we're actually going to build mounts off of the side of the frame rails so that if he does crash and damages the front of the car, this part can come off. We can drop all this on and off totally separate from the engine. So it has come to our I guess attention that it's not a good thing to tie a high horsepower motor to these thin little plates. So Garagistic also makes weld-in support brackets, but we're not going to need them on this car because we're not going to be bolting the motor to this. Everything else is pretty much standard. We're getting ready to put all the WiseFab stuff on. Yes, we're going to be replacing this. This is just for temporary purposes. We've also painted the entire car. So the car was originally silver. We painted everything on the outside, everything on the bottom, everything underneath. All the way down the tunnels all painted, and everything is pretty much ready to get going and go from there. So we'll kind of show you with boxes of parts, boxes of bolts, everything that came off the car, some of the old stuff that came off the rear, off the front. Look at how this came off. This guy we had to hammer out. This is a rear trailing arm, or the lower part that attaches to it. The whole bolt and everything seized into it, so that's got to come off. But we are getting to it. We have the trailing arms, those will come off, and then we'll start cutting away. We also cut the rear deck out and some other stuff there, but yeah, wanted to show you guys the first step of all this. So this is where we're at right now, and we are painting. So there we go, have fun. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for I guess the second part of this, where we're going to be cutting the whole rear end off and we're gonna be cutting some stuff out to get the quick change in, do the stuff underneath, and we're gonna be moving the fuel cell to right there. So instead of being underneath, we're gonna do a radium fuel cell over here, and tends to be that's the best option of location to where factory designed it and factory put it. Also on a BMW, keep in mind that the right rear of the car is designed to have about an 80-pound battery in it. So we have to kind of calculate and do some math on how heavy the driver is, where he's sitting, and then getting back to about 80 pounds of ballast weight in the right rear. So we're gonna be moving things around. We're gonna be putting it on scales as we're building it to make it as close to perfect as possible, and moving weight around to make sure that when we're done, this thing corner balances out perfect. So cool, stay with us. Check out the next one. We'll show you as we get going on this.